So you want to use the new Claude Chrome extension, but here's the thing. Most people are actually using it wrong. They set it up, but they miss this one step that actually matters, and they never get to the good part. So let me show you how to do it the right way so you're getting everything out of it, not just scratching the surface. Hey guys, Anthony Tran here. If you're new to my channel, I help personal brands use Claude AI to grow their business. Okay, so here's what we're going to cover. First, I'm going to explain what this Chrome extension actually is, and after that, I'll show you how to set it up the right way, and it only takes a few minutes. Then I'm going to walk you through the real use cases and the stuff that can actually help your business. I'll also share some tips so you can use it without worrying as much. And make sure you stick around to the end because I'm going to show you the most important part, the one mistake almost everyone's making, and how you can fix it. All right, let's get into it. You've probably heard of this Claude Chrome extension, but you might be wondering, okay, so what is it exactly? It's a Google Chrome extension that lets Claude work right inside your web browser. You can use it as a research tool, or in this part, you can actually give it the ability to do work for you. So it can read the page you're on, it can click buttons, it can type, fill out forms, move between tabs, and just get work done for you. Now, some of you might be listening to this and thinking, gosh, this makes me a little nervous. I'm not sure I want Claude having access to my browser and clicking around and moving my mouse. But don't worry, I'm going to walk you through the pros and cons and show you how to reduce your risk so you can decide if this is right for you. So here's the way I like you to picture this. Imagine you can hand your most boring, repetitive task to a VA or an employee, and that person sits right next to you at your desk, and they take all the busy work off your plate so you can focus on the bigger stuff. But the nice thing is you can still watch what they're doing and you can keep tabs on their work. And if they run into any questions, they ask you for permission first. That's basically what this thing does. And Anthropic calls it a helping hand across all your tabs. And that's a pretty good way to think about it. So real quick, before we set it up, you should know that there are 3 different ways to use Claude in Chrome because a lot of people aren't even aware of it. So number 1, you can use it right in your browser. It's a side panel. You click the Claude icon, it opens up next to your page, and you interact with the page through it. Number 2, you can use it through your Claude desktop app, through Cowork, where Claude can open your browser, it can do the work for you when you prompt it. And number 3, you can use it with Claude Code in the terminal, and that's more for developers. And I'm not a coder, so I'm not going to pretend I know my way around the terminal, so I won't get into that one. But just know if you are a developer, you can use it that way too. All right, so before I show you everything it can do, let's make sure it's set up the right way. Because if you skip this step, it's not going to work the way you want it to. But first, a few quick requirements. 1, you do need a paid Claude plan, Pro, Max, Team, or Enterprise. And sorry to say, it doesn't work with the free version. But it does come with your plan, so you're not paying anything separate on top of your current subscription. 2, it only works in Google Chrome. So if you're using Firefox, Edge, Brave, or anything else, it doesn't work in it. And you have to use it on your desktop or laptop. So number 3, when you do install it, make sure you grab the official one, and I'll show you the exact page to get to it. And just so you know, it's technically still in beta, but I can tell you, I use it all the time. It's very powerful, and I haven't had any issues. So I wouldn't be showing you this unless I personally trusted it and used it myself. Okay, so now that we covered the requirements, let me walk you through the setup. And here we are on the official Claude.com page, and you're going to see this add to Chrome button. Go ahead and click on that. Next, you'll get to the Chrome web store. Now it's going to say from Claude.com, and there's over 1,300 ratings at the time of this recording and over 11 million users. That's pretty awesome. So there's some information on this page. Feel free to peruse around it, but we're going to click on the add to Chrome button here. And it's going to ask you to add Claude as an extension. Go ahead and click on that. Next, it's going to ask you to authorize it. Go ahead and click authorize. Okay, now that it's installed, you're going to go to this extensions icon and click on it. And you're going to see that it has Claude. Go ahead and pin it. I like to pin it so I always have easy access to it. And now you can see the orange starburst, the Claude icon. Go ahead and click on that. And you're going to want to make sure you review all this information and click I understand. And go and click next and let's go. So this next step you don't want to miss. We need to connect it to your Claude desktop app. So on the left here, you're going to see this plus button. Go and click on that. and you're going to see connectors. We want to go to manage connectors. And from here, you can see I've already installed it, but it's called Claude in Chrome. And if you don't see it, go ahead and click add, go to browse connectors, and then search for it here. And then go ahead and install it. Okay, now that we've installed everything, let me just show you around real quick. So just as a reminder, you can get access to your Claude Chrome extension by clicking on the icon. It opens up a right side chat panel. And from here, you can do a couple things. You can select your model. So from here, you can select which model, for example, Opus 4.8. And on the right, you can also do some settings, change your language, etc. And on the bottom, there's the chat box that you're all familiar with. And it also asks you if you want to ask before acting, or you can control it by saying act without asking. So it's up to you. You can choose that. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. And there's also another section called Teach Claude, which I'll also walk you through. And of course, you can upload screenshots or add images into the chat. So real quick, let's say, for example, you just want to learn something about this. So you can type in the box just like you normally would. So for this example, I'm going to ask it to summarize what is on this page. So one of the nice things you'll see right away is Claude is going to ask you to review and approve the plan. So in this case, I just basically asked it to summarize the information on this page. One thing I want to highlight is you notice this orange glow. The orange glow shows what Claude can see. I'm going to go ahead and approve this plan. So Claude went ahead and reviewed this page and has summarized it for me, which is kind of cool. It gave me a bunch of information. I can continue to interact with it, ask questions. So you see, this is the easiest way to use it. You can interact with the page and pull information from you need. That's a very simple way to use it. And honestly, most people feel like that's underwhelming. And so they figure, oh, I don't really need this. And that's why they say, oh, this tool doesn't work that great. But it's actually way more powerful than people realize. So I'm going to show you a few more features to make it really work for you. Okay, so here's a fun exercise. Let's say you wanted to do some comparison or research. Let's use this for example. Let's say you're in the mood for searching for a new car, and maybe you're trying to compare a Tesla Model Y versus a Kia EV6. So what you can do is you can ask Claude to do the research for you. So I'm going to go ahead and type in here, Claude to basically do the research for me, and then paste the research that they find onto a Google Doc. Hey Claude, I am thinking about buying a new EV SUV. Can you do research between a Tesla Model Y and a Kia EV6, and then write up a summary and comparison information on a Google Doc for me? So once again, Claude's going to ask if I can review this plan. So it says he's going to read the Tesla Model Y page, he's going to read the Kia EV6 page, and then write a summary with a side-by-side comparison in the Google Doc. I'm going to go ahead and approve this. You'll notice that there is a little tab that says get notified when tasks are complete or need input. So go ahead and click notify me. All right, so Claude is done. It said he researched both vehicles and it basically summarized everything into the Google Doc. So let's go ahead and check it out. All right, so check it out. Claude was able to put everything in a Google Doc for me, gave me an overview of both models, some of the specs, the performance, the safety, the warranty, and bottom line gave me a recommendation. That's kind of cool. Another really cool feature that not a lot of people are aware of is it has this ability to teach Claude. What you do is when you click on this, you start recording a step-by-step process, and then Claude basically can replicate it. So think of it again like a VA, and you're trying to do a screen recording to teach your VA how to do something step by step. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and click Start Recording and give Claude some simple instructions. Hey Claude, I'm trying to do a comparison between some Tesla vehicles. What I would like you to do first is go to each Tesla vehicle page. For example, right now, the Model Y. You're going to go ahead and go down to the features section of the page, and you're going to copy each of these features and paste it into a Google Doc. You're going to copy it, and you're going to go to this page at the very bottom, and you're going to paste it. Next, we're going to go to the other car. We're going to go up to the menu, and you're going to select another vehicle. And in this case, for example, the Model 3, and you're going to go down to the features section once again, and you're going to highlight the features, and you're going to copy it, and you're going to paste it into the spreadsheet once again. Go ahead and complete this until you finish all the Tesla vehicles on the website. So now Claude's created a shortcut, and you can name this whatever you want. This one is going to be compare Tesla features, and this is the prompt that it auto-generated, and you can review this and tweak it if you like. I'm going to go ahead and just create this shortcut. And as you can see right here, you can also schedule it if you want this to be a recurring task. I'm going to go ahead and click create shortcut, and you can see right here it's now available. If I, for some reason, don't have access to that shortcut anymore, I can always click / and it will show up as under my shortcuts. It says compare Tesla features. There we go. And I'm going to click start. So you can see Claude's going to ask again, here's the plan. I'm going to revisit each of these Tesla model pages. I'm going to extract the features, and I'm going to compile that information to this Google Doc. I'll go ahead and click approve. All right, so Claude went ahead and extracted all the feature content, and it's asking me if I want to turn this into a comparison table for a cleaner side-by-side. So let's go ahead and see what he can do. So once again, what I love about this is it's constantly asking me to review and improve things or make changes. So you can feel comfortable when you're first starting to use this, that it's not just going to start going rogue and taking over your computer. It's literally asking you step by step to review it, make sure you're comfortable, and approve. Okay, so Claude has been updating the Google Doc and the comparison chart. You can see right here, he did research on all of the different models for Tesla, gave me different features, and then gave me checkbox on which models can have which feature. So as you can see, you can basically instruct Claude on and teach it on a step-by-step process. And there's many different use cases, and this is just one example. So now that we covered some of the controls, let's talk about privacy. So the biggest risk with any AI browsing the web is something called prompt injection. And that's when you land on a site that's not trustworthy, and there's some kind of hidden code or instruction trying to get Claude to do something you didn't want it to, like maybe hand over some sensitive information about you. So here's what Anthropic did about it. They have two safety checkers running in the background. One that's constantly reading the content for hidden instructions, and one that's checking every action before Claude takes it. So if something looks off, it automatically blocks the request or pauses to ask you if you want to proceed. And so that's the good news, is with these newer models like Opus 4.8, they're far more resistant to these prompt injections. So the attack success rate is under 0.1% in Anthropic's testing. So under 0.1%, that's not even close to 1%. So it's very safe. But of course, they cannot guarantee 100%. So I don't know, it's up to you. For me, I feel like if I got 99 on security and risk, I think it's pretty good. So anyways, you have the choice. I don't want to pressure you into doing something you're not comfortable with. I just want you to understand how it works and how you can use it in a way that feels safe. Claude is also already blocking sites that they're aware aren't safe, so you can't use it on those. And they recommend you don't use it on sites with financial or personal data. It won't be doing things that are creating transactions or trading stocks or solving CAPTCHAs, and it won't delete your stuff. So as long as you're not pointing it to your bank account, your health records, or anything sensitive, you're going to be okay. So just remember, if you are taking screenshots while you're working, make sure you don't want to offer it anything that's on your screen that you don't want it to see. And if you want to be extra careful, you can use a separate Chrome profile that isn't logged into your sensitive accounts. So basically, just start with simple tasks that you're comfortable with, and over time, you'll get a feel of what it can do and what you feel comfortable allowing it to do. So now let's talk about a few troubleshooting tips. Because it's technically still in beta, so if you come across any of these issues, these are a great way to resolve them. Number one, you want to make sure that the extension is connected. Because a lot of times, if you're just restarting your computer or updating the extension, it will solve most problems. Next, you want to make sure that you're using Chrome, because like I said, some people use different browsers like Firefox or Edge or Brave. Make sure you're actually using Chrome, and that way you know that it's available for you. Another common mistake is some people forget that their subscription might have lapsed or they downgraded to the free version. In that case, you want to make sure you're on the paid plan to continue to use this Chrome extension. So let's bring back to what we've already talked about. We talked about how to install it, how to use it safely. And now I'm going to show you one thing that most people don't realize that it can do. And this is one of the best parts of the tool. So everything so far, we talked about some use cases, how you can teach it, your workflow, how you can use it within the browser. But what people don't realize is they can actually use it in their Claude Cowork desktop app. And the reason why this matters is in your Claude Cowork desktop app, it has more context about you and your business. Whereas if you're using it in the browser, it doesn't have any memory about your previous conversations, and it doesn't have any context about your business and goals. So when you're using it from your Claude Cowork, it does know that information. And so when it runs information, it does give you information. It basically brings it back home to your context about your business. Okay, so I'm in the Claude Cowork desktop app, and it's connected to my AI Brain folder. So it knows all about my business and brand. And I'm just going to basically give it the same prompt. Let's see what it responds. Hey, Claude, I am doing some research about SUV EVs vehicles like a Tesla Model Y and a Kia EV6. Can you do me a favor and open up my browser and do some research on the Tesla Model Y and compare it to the Kia EV6? And then let me know what you think, if it's a good idea for my use case and my business. Thanks. So you can see the orange halo is glowing around my screen. It is researching the Kia EV6 page. Earlier, it was researching the Tesla website. So once again, this initiated from my Claude Cowork desktop app. And then now you can see it pulled up information, and I can interact with the information from my Claude Cowork desktop app. So it's interesting. If you read right here, it says, let me push back. Your businesses are online. You do web design, WordPress, calculator sites, personal brand. A car is not a growth lever for any of them. If you want it, it's a nice write-off. But basically he's saying you work from home, you don't need a car, which is an interesting take because he knows about my business, what I do. I work from home. He's like, you know what? Based on your business, maybe you don't need this. So this is what I mean, where the difference between using this on your browser versus using it on the desktop app, it gives you different context because it knows about your business and who you are, versus on the browser, you're just a general person. So it doesn't give you any context as far as bringing it back home to about your business. So that's why using Claude Cowork with the browser really takes that capability to a whole new level. All right, so as you can see, this is a really powerful tool and it's genuinely useful. It's something that you can use to streamline your business, and it can help you unlock even more capabilities with Claude. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.